Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a pick a pile, and I'll go ahead and timestamp in the description box and start at 45 seconds. Take a gander, or attempt to. I do have a little more to talk about. Regarding this, as I was pulling the cards for this, I happened to notice a very theme, and I will also pull it all together at the end as well. So go ahead and focus on the cards, make your intuitive picks, however many, and we'll get started momentarily. All right, if you've picked pile number one, we have Esanaluhi, Transformation. Cernunnos came up in the reverse, Shape-Shifting. All right, Esanaluhi, otherwise known as Sister Rain. I usually call her that because I have such a hard time pronouncing her name. Origin, Native American. You've been through a lot late in your life lately, and your heart may feel heavy. Let Esanaluhi, goddess of the sky and earth, help lift your weary spirit and renew it. Transformation is her specialty. It's time to take the lesson, release it, and say, thank you, next, to this phase of your life. I'm only going to read a bit of Cernunnos here. Not the whole story. I know, they have great stories. Okay. Cernunnos, shape-shifting. Transition and change are flowing through you. Relax and know you have the power to be what you want to be. Cernunnos is often depicted as half human and half stag, although sometimes just as man with a glorious set of antlers that seems to pierce the sky. His energy is vital, flowing, fertile, and incredibly connecting. Today he is a symbol of the purest masculine energy, untainted and fully connected with his strength and wildness. For this reason, he is extremely popular with the modern pagan and witchcraft communities, and is often a patron of those who work on facilitating change as environmental activists. You can call upon his shape-shifting energy when you wish to transition from one career to another, one identity to another, or to shape back into your most authentic self. On the shadow side, the wilderness is to be respected. We have an array of survival shows out there that demonstrate how to conquer the environment rather than work with and enrich the environment for the greatest good. If you are someone who only uses the gifts of the earth, sky, and sea for sport example, without ever giving back to those same elements, you may wish to rethink your attitude. A balanced masculine nature is one of deep, protective connection with the earth and its animals, even human, rather than dominion over them. Today's hunters could do well to follow a more honorable path than the cold process of taking life that many do. Think also how Cernunnos would view the common practices of factory farming, for example, and reassess what you eat. Sometimes I usually see this card as like also an indication that you might want to follow a little bit more of a vegetarian diet this week. That's usually his hint, hint, nudge, nudge to me. It's like, you need more vegetables. You haven't been eating enough. I'm going to live pull a card from the Mermaids, because this feels like the beginning of a transition. These were cards that I would get in the very beginning of my awakening, post, well, kind of like towards the tail end of ego death, I would say. Yeah, and they would resurface during the void too. So this might be helpful. I'm definitely feeling this is an identity sort of transition. And there's a lesson that came from it, right? Oh, goodness. You have breaking free. Let me see, where are you, darling? There you are. I'm just going to quickly go through it. We're not going to make it too long, okay? Look honestly at your situation. Are you becoming entangled without realizing it? You have the power to break free from a disempowering situation. Say no. Are you out of your depth? Perhaps you become entangled in a difficult situation and feel there's no way out. Know there's a way to break free from any situation. All it takes is a positive mindset with a sprinkling of hope. Let's see. Work, relationship commitments are mentioned. If that resonates for anybody that might have had something you had to learn something from that caused a transition, maybe an existential crisis of sorts. Let's see. This message also says it's the right time to break free from any psychic cords that are restricting you spiritually or physically. So like cord cutting is a good example of that. There's way more. It also suggests here you can call upon Archangel Michael to come in and assist. And there's plenty of meditations for this as well. So there's a number of ways to do it. There's obviously some kind of energy cord that is causing a disruption that may be causing a tower of sorts for this existential crisis, if that makes sense. Something that's very, prolific, right? When we cut cords, we're not removing the person or circumstances that put them there. We're simply breaking free from any cords or entanglements that aren't serving our highest good. By doing this, we're creating a clean spiritual slate with which we can begin anew, healthier, and mutually beneficial connections. Someone around you might be entangled in a situation and need your intervention. So this may not be you going through it either. You can also think that maybe there's somebody around you in your energy field that might be waking up and could probably stand to use some help or a little extra guidance, maybe. Only help them if it feels safe to do so, though. Your involvement might be to inform a professional organization that can assist as well. It just really depends on the circumstance, you guys. Use your discernment and your intuition for that. But you might just be the person to set the wheels in motion. Okay. All right, it's 7. If you picked, and I got to save the other cards. Hold on. Pile number 2. You have, sorry, I'm working 2 piles here. Aditi, creation, be the change you want to see in the world, and Osiris, renewal. I'll go ahead and read Aditi for you a little bit. Goddess of the universe, Aditi is empowering you to create at will. Be the change you want to see in the world. Go out and make it happen. All right. Osiris, renewal. Osiris can be called upon when you need to be renewed. When you are tired physically or mentally, his energy is nourishing and magical. When you feel like there is no hope, particularly after trauma or a difficult relationship, his presence is soothing. Osiris also appears when there is a conception or a transition close at hand. Conception being start. But it could be a birth. It could be pregnancy. I'm going to go ahead and read the shadow side even though he's in the upright, in case. If we push ourselves too hard, destroy our bodies, pay no heed to the fertility of our relationships, sometimes it becomes too late or too difficult for complete renewal. Pay attention to your own self-care, your own rejuvenating power, and should you need to, take time to rest and repair. A retreat is often called for when Osiris visits. So, refill your cups, right? Perhaps there was something depleting, right? And Aditi is just calling upon you to gather your strength to go do that, right? I'm going to go ahead and put the previous card in there. And we'll pull a card from the mermaids for additional advice, okay? And I'll read bits and pieces in case there's anything keywordy in there that resonates. Please and thank you, Spirit. Oh, nice. All right, we have contemplation. Oops, went too far. There we go. Contemplate your current situation and allow your thoughts and feelings to flow. Use your mind in conjunction with your heart and think things through before making decisions. The beauty of this is that it can be a fun and creative process, and perhaps this is definitely something where you can tap into your sacral and it be part of your self-care to refill those cups. Allowing you to imagine you're experiencing the things you're contemplating without doing anything in physical reality. It's a bit like trying before you buy or commit. The situation calls for you to think deeply about you using your wisdom and imagination to arrive at wholesome solutions. Your feelings may be a bit confused right now, and you're prone to follow your heart, probably because you've just had your cups dumped. I'm guessing. And the deity's telling you to go, you need to refill this, to put more into yourself, right? And you can use your imagination and think and feel your way through it, right? Okay. Contemplation is a type of meditation, only it entails engaging with your mind instead of trying to stop the thoughts. When you use your mind and your heart wisdom in unison, it's possible to make major decisions in life knowing you've covered all angles, explored several options and outcomes in the safety of your own imagination. Perhaps someone close to you is contemplating the future. Let them know the importance of staying in a positive state of mind when going through this process, as what we project can come into being. So it's wise to be mindful of this as you contemplate and play with the possibilities. This is so beautiful. All right. Now, parts of this resonate with the first pile. Just letting you know. I will pull it together at the end, though. All right, at 11:16, you picked pile number 3. Let me just write down that real quick. All right, timestamp stamped. You have Inanna, desire. Sorry, guys. I think the owl is just messing with the focus. Origin, Sumerian. Queen of Heaven. Excuse me. Queen of Heaven, Inanna, embraces all those who seek her care. Accept her wisdom and gifts to find what your heart truly longs for. Now is the time to give in to your desires. Accept what's truly yours and release what isn't. Also resonates with the second pile. So if that resonates, all right. Hermes, communication, but he did pop up in the shadow, okay? All right. Let's see here. Developing your skills in an emotional and rational intelligence and being able to express with honesty in real time is something that Hermes encourages. Also, it may well be time to consult your favorite means of divination regularly during this period. So hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Homework assignment. On the shadow side, when we are great communicators and when we are great persuaders, it could be easy to convince others of our point of view. It is important to continually monitor our integrity with regards to what we communicate, lest we steal another's free will. I don't know why that looked weird to me. It looked like still. Clarity and peace of mind. Gossip is also Hermes's domain. As common as it is, rarely does this serve a just purpose. And let's pull a mermaid oracle. Make sure I got them all. Okay. Quick shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, that's good. I'll cut the deck just to be sure. All right. Knock out the nonsense. All right, thank you, Spirit. That was quick. Be spontaneous. I love this card. She's just relaxing in her clamshell, being her beautiful self with that gorgeous pearl. Look at that. All right. Find that page. Just a little bit. We're not going to go through too much, just like I did with the other piles. Do something that takes you out of your normal routine. Life can be a little too predictable when we become creatures of habit. It's time for positive action. Be bold and take action. Join a class, learn something new, stop watching TV for a while and see what the universe wishes to fill the gap with. When you create space for something new, the universe will generally oblige. You need to take the first step, though, and dare to be spontaneous. Will you take up the challenge? It's a strong message to try something new, to mix things up in a positive way. Nothing needs to be disrupted. A small change can make the world a difference, not only to yourself but to others. However, if you don't relate to this interpretation, another message from this card is that perhaps it's time to stay in your comfort zone. Maybe you've already been too spontaneous. Maybe it's the other way around, right? The routines and safety may be exactly what's needed in your life right now. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and timestamp that for 15:14, right? Okay, hold on. We're pulling it all together because I noticed this definitely felt, all three of these felt like context need to know where to focus and outcome where care is needed. So let me just gather those cards up. We had Esanat Luhi and Kernunos. So there obviously was some sort of prolific event. Where did he go? I lost a card. Oh, no, it didn't. He's right here. Okay. Where to focus would have been Inanna, desire, and Osiris talking about taking action on your own self-care. And the context really felt something like a prolific event had occurred to trigger some sort of soul awakening, right? And then we had Hermes. Oh, he was in reverse. Sorry, guys. So maybe it had a lot to do with some kind of gossip or social circumstance that was just very jarring, like out of the blue. Sorry. Perhaps something where something you trusted might have broken your heart, something you trusted for a very, very, very long time, and it caused just a snap where you realized, I don't want this. This is not for me. What do I want? Where am I going from here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pull an extra card, okay, from the mermaids and see what they suggest healing-wise, activity-wise, advice-wise. To pull this all together. This is definitely a type of spread I would have encountered early on in pieces. During the Dark Night, it happened at least twice like this. Just after the bliss ended, in the first maybe week or two of Void, where I had no idea what I was supposed to do next, right? I'm still trying to figure everything out. So this definitely feels like that. So there may be somebody, either you or someone in your field, going through this, just to keep an eye out. I'm going to pull two, okay? I'm feeling compelled to do that. Truth. And love. Excellent. Yes. 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 All right, we'll start with truth. Came out first. Admit the truth to yourself. Accepting the truth can set you free and be a joyful experience. Avoiding the truth isn't beneficial. This mermaid looks at you with the eyes of truth and asks you to consider honestly any area of your life that worries you. We know the truth can hurt. We also know that the truth can set us free. When you ask to find out the truth of a situation, it will reveal itself at the perfect time. Are you being totally honest? Maybe you think you're protecting someone by withholding the truth. Or it's the other way around. This is rarely the right thing to do. In most circumstances, it's better to reveal the truth in a loving way, so that those involved can work through things together. It's important to acknowledge free will and to give others the opportunity to make their own choices based on the truth. This is also freeing on the karmic level. Good point. This could be a karmic lesson. This card also says there could be a secret waiting to be brought to light. Trust your intuition and any hunches you have at this time. Remember, there are usually two or more sides to any story, so it's wise to consider that the truth resides somewhere in the middle. When you live your life in truth, you never need to recall what you've said or done previously because you've walked the path of honesty. This card appears in a reading to highlight an area of life where a truth will soon reveal itself, or maybe it already has, right? And you're just processing it. Pay close attention to the surrounding cards for extra insight. And the extra cards we had, you'll see in piles 1, 2, and 3. Because I did pull, all right? And love. Open yourself to universal or romantic love. Put yourself out there. Maybe go on a date or rekindle the love within your current relationship. This mermaid is bathing in the bliss of unconditional love. She loves herself, which pile 2 talked about, right? Okay. She loves herself, which means she'll be able to be fully loved by others. When you know your true value and embrace the fact that you're loved and lovable, you'll attract perfect loving relationships. Love is the fragrance of enlightened spiritual people. It can be felt in their aura and is the residue of their presence. I love that sentence. Residue of their presence. Ah, this is pure unconditional love. Absolutely. People feel romantic love for each other. To love someone and yet also set them free is a beautiful thing. When our emotions become involved, we become attached to and dependent on someone, we can face issues. Perhaps you're experiencing this right now. Remember, we're all born free, which means we have the freedom to choose the path we take in life. Yes, it's possible to be in love and still be free. There isn't an excuse to play around with the hearts of others. Being free while in a loving relationship means you give space for the other to flow and grow. It's still possible to remain loyal and in love while loving them unconditionally. The act of giving and caring is an expression of love. If you feel drawn to be of service to others, then this card's message is affirming that. Practice random acts of kindness is another wonderful expression of love in action. Showing love to a stranger will lift their spirits and fill their heart with hope. Beautiful. All right, guys, I hope that helps. Have a good one.